So we've covered respecting the privacy rights of consumers. We covered first-party ownership of first-party data. Now, that third pillar that we really want to focus on, which is making decisions and taking actions from insights. Now, there's a ton of fear related to insights and the ability to activate with our data in the absence of granular user-level data or user identifiers, really manifesting or coming about from the deprecation of third-party cookies. So we don't want to be fearful of that because there are approaches that can be taken. In our next session here, I'm very happy to introduce Winnie Loban, and she will be talking about one such of those strategies, which is aggregate data modeling for measurements and then feeding that into value-based bidding. So, Winnie?
Thank you. Notes are on the side. Hi everyone, my name is Winnie Loban. I'm a marketing science lead at Google, and I'm here today to share a privacy-forward use case with you that will enable any advertiser to take advantage of Google's AI-powered value-based bidding. So let's start with an example to bring this use case to life. Please meet car shopper Cindy. She has just decided that she's interested in a new ride and is embarking on the journey of her research and consideration. Cindy is served a compelling ad and clicks through and arrives at the car manufacturer's website. She customizes her dream car using the build and price tool, customizing everything from the interiors to the color of the car. And she also downloads a brochure for her favorite model. A week later, she goes into the dealership and she test drives her favorite model. And the following month, she pulls the trigger and her dream car is now a reality. So the car manufacturer would see Cindy's journey as a great example of an ideal customer that they brought in with their digital media. They have hired a digital media manager to answer the question, how do we optimize our digital media to convert more car shoppers like Cindy? So media manager Mark is tasked with this question. However, Cindy's journey took that inconvenient detour offline in her journey, which presents a few challenges for Mark. Cindy purchased the car through a dealership. So even though the car manufacturer is the one that served the ad, and on their website is where a lot of her research and consideration took place, since she moved offline and completed the purchase at a dealership, the dealership has their own point of sale and CRM system, which makes it difficult for the car manufacturer to receive consistent customer level sales data. In addition, for a large purchase like this, there's a significant sales cycle. So Cindy's journey was winding and a lot of time elapsed between the first ad exposure and the purchase. So this causes issues for Mark, who doesn't have full visibility into the customer journey. How is Mark supposed to know what's working and what's not working in their digital media strategy without the ability to connect these dots? Well, Media Manager Mark does have a few tools up his sleeve to optimize their digital media spend. Their tried and true MMM and geo experiments work well because those only rely on aggregated data. However, when it comes to the granular attribution and bidding problem, that's where things become a little bit more challenging. Without granular attribution, Mark doesn't know which online KPIs to measure and optimize for to move the needle for offline sales. So Mark has been left optimizing things like their bid strategies to ad clicks, general site visits, all without validation or proof points that those are the right decisions are making a difference. In an ideal world, Mark really wishes that he could bid directly to offline sales because he knows how valuable value-based bidding can be. He wonders, how can I take inspiration from the optimization tools that are working for me and apply similar methodology to this granular attribution problem? So value-based bidding is an AI-powered Google product feature you can take advantage of today. Google AI helps you navigate complex and unpredictable customer journeys and drive growth and results now and into the future. Google AI is a multiplier for your expertise, so you are a key component of this equation. Your expertise of the industry, the customer journey, and your first-party data and insights are critical. And when you share these insights with Google AI, We can feed that into AI-powered solutions such as value-based bidding and begin optimizing for conversion quality and value and drive better business outcomes. And this challenge is not unique to auto. We see this challenge across many data-constrained verticals. This challenge impacts other original equipment manufacturers such as consumer electronics advertisers. CPG advertisers who sell through retailers often have limited first-party data. And pharma and healthcare face their own unique set of challenges with even more strict privacy regulations. While this challenge immediately and historically has impacted these data-constrained verticals, I think this challenge is only going to grow as third-party cookie deprecation progresses, and user-level attribution, as we know it today, is going to undergo some changes. So this use case, I think, will become more broadly applicable to even other types of advertisers. So enter the solution I wanted to share with you today, which my team calls Aggregate Data Modeling for Value-Based Bidding. This solution leverages first-party sales data, Google Marketing Platform data, and econometric modeling to predict sales and enable advanced bidding. It creates a real-time estimate of sales using metrics that can be attributed to ads at a granular level. And it provides the formulas necessary for you to activate value-based bidding algorithms, whether that's in SA360's Smart Bidding or DV360's Custom Bidding, all while leveraging aggregate data and limiting dependence on user-level data. Let's see how we can get started with aggregate data modeling for value-based bidding in 5 steps. The first step is to gather the data. The second is to create the model. The third will be interpreting the results of the model. The fourth will be translating those insights into activation, and then finishing up with measuring success. So the first step is to gather the data, and we have 2 components here, your CRM data and the Google Marketing Platform data. So first we need aggregated sales data. Usually first party, but could be second party as well. And this can be either sales quantity or sales revenue, depending on what your final objective is. This data will be grouped by a date dimension, whether that's date or week. And you also have the flexibility to add in an optional geo-level breakdown if that's important to how you plan your media. The second element is the Google Marketing Platform data. And this is also grouped on the same level of date and geo granularity, so you can join your 2 data sets together. And this will consist of aggregated online behaviors. This typically includes website conversions and behaviors that are tagged with Google Analytics goals or Campaign Manager floodlights. And the types of conversions we're talking about for these advertisers you may have heard referred to as high-value actions, soft conversions, micro conversions, mid-funnel, so on and so forth. So those kind of intermediary conversions you can track online when these types of advertisers don't have their final business objective available online. But the features in this model can also include other outcome-oriented media metrics, such as ad clicks or video completes, if you don't expect for your customers to spend time on your website. So for example, Cindy might spend a lot less time considering a gum purchase versus spending a lot of time on a website considering her vehicle purchase. The key here is that the GMP data is optimizable media metrics, and these are going to function as the features in your model, and at the end of this process are going to ultimately act as the proxy KPI for offline sales. The second step is to build a model, and we're using econometric modeling, which is analyzing time series data for the purpose of predicting future sales. And it aims to attribute fluctuations in the sales data due to fluctuations in your model features, in our case, the optimizable media metrics. And this might sound familiar. Media Manager Mark was taking inspiration from MMM, and we use a lot of the same modeling techniques and apply them to, in a slightly different way, to different set of data here. So instead of trying to attribute sales to media channels for the purpose of cross-channel budget allocation like you would in an MMM problem, here we're attributing sales to optimizable media metrics to properly quantify their value. So we fit an econometric model to predict sales as a function of the GMP online behaviors. And in this step, we recommend that you fit the model, optimize reducing error, and then also validate the model's performance on a holdout period. And this is a really important step because we need to build confidence and trust in the model's fit and predictive power so that all of our stakeholders are comfortable in the future relying on the insights of the model for our day-to-day granular attribution. Our team has open sourced some regression-based attribution code that I have listed on the slide. That is for the cross-channel budget allocation use case. However, again, we're using a lot of the same methodology, so you could use that as a starting point to customize further for your unique use case. Once the model is built, the third step is to interpret the results. And the piece of information we're after is identifying and quantifying the contribution of the features in the model. Here we want to look for features with positive, statistically significant coefficients. We're going to treat these as our high-value actions, and we're going to use the weights produced by the model for the weights in our bidding algorithm. As an example, let's interpret one of these example coefficients. So for every incremental download a file conversion our ads can generate, we'll also be contributing to an additional 0.13 future vehicle sales. And most of the features in your model will already have been tagged with a Google Analytics goal or Campaign Manager floodlight. But in the event that they weren't prior to modeling, they would need to be tagged now so that you can easily access them in the next step for activation. Okay, and we have arrived at the activation stage. Across Google media buying platforms, we implement value-based bidding. And there will be some nuances in exactly how this looks across each product you're using, but the example on the screen I have is what this might look like in DV360's custom bidding goal builder. But essentially, across all the products, we'd be creating a weighted conversions formula, incorporating the high-value actions and the weights from the model. Once this is implemented and you have your bid strategy saved, you can assign these to your media buying campaigns, and your campaigns will begin to deliver media in an effort to maximize the high-value actions and/or predicted revenue from the model, which should in turn have that downstream impact on offline sales. Our final step is to measure success. And once we have the high-value actions in the media buying platforms, that's enabled us to activate the value-based bidding algorithms, but it also enables us just to do sales attribution and look at estimated revenue from the model in the platforms. So we can also do things like budget allocation at a granular level, whether that's something you do manually or you rely on other tools, automation tools, such as like an auto budget allocation tool. When testing new bid strategies, we recommend running an experiment, and you can choose your desired methodology, whether that's A/B, pre-post, geo, depending on the platform you're implementing this in, as well as the requirements for your specific use case. But the experiment will help prove the lift in estimated ROAS as a result of implementing value-based bidding over your standard, like business as usual bid strategies. And just a friendly reminder to approach this with an experimentation mindset and an iterative way of thinking. So let's recap some of the reasons to get started with this use case today. As I mentioned, this use case leverages time-tested methodology and aggregate data. My team has completed this use case for 13 advertisers across 5 verticals. And there's plenty of other teams at Google and within marketers, agencies, partners that are working on similar problems. So we have seen success with it. I think this use case can be efficient. I think the modeling process can move quicker than user level. And more importantly, you saw how easy it was to go from insights to activation. We just took those data points and went directly into the media buying platforms. Whereas with user level modeling, you would probably have to do some engineering work to automate the model, to score users on a regular basis, set up a pipeline to bring in user level values. So this can be more efficient. These insights can be implemented cross-platform and even outside of the Google ecosystem if you need to, as long as your platform has the ability to set up these types of advanced bid strategies. So if you have an advertiser who has a similar challenge with user-level data, I would encourage you to explore this use case. And it's a great way to leverage Google AI-powered solutions today. And if you need assistance, your partners at InfoTrust and Google have experience to assist you. Thank you.